We all had this sensation that an act of war was really taking place.
15 people shooting, one person shooting.
Death toll was just rising all the time.
Can you imagine a single man causing the deaths of 77 people, including teenagers, in a calculated rampage that shook an entire nation to its core? Anders Behring Breivik's meticulously planned attacks in Norway left families shattered, communities in mourning, and a nation grappling with profound grief and disbelief. His actions on that fateful day in 2011 marked one of the darkest chapters in modern European history, leaving scars that still haunt Norway and the world today. July 22, 2011. Anders Behring Breivik carried out one of Norway's deadliest attacks, beginning with a bomb blast in Oslo's government district that killed 8 people. Disguised as a police officer, he then traveled to Utøya Island, targeting a Labour Party youth camp and ruthlessly killing 69 individuals, most of whom were teenagers. On July 22, 2011, Oslo was thrust into chaos by a massive explosion that tore through its government district. A van packed with a homemade bomb detonated near the Prime Minister's office, claiming 8 lives and injuring 207 others, many critically. The blast shattered windows, ignited fires, and wrought extensive devastation. Emergency responders swiftly converged, facing a scene of widespread destruction and urgent rescue efforts. Firefighters, paramedics, and police mobilized to manage the crisis and secure the area. It quickly became evident to investigators that this was a deliberate act of terrorism, not an unfortunate accident. Amidst the smoke and chaos, surveillance footage revealed a chilling sight: a figure clad in black, later identified as 32-year-old Anders Behring Breivik, departing the van just moments before the explosion. Breivik's extremist beliefs and troubled history soon made him the prime suspect in the unfolding tragedy. Afterwards, witnesses gave important information, like seeing Breivik get into a Fiat Doblo soon after the attack. But delays in procedures and communication mistakes slowed down the initial response. This gave Breivik extra time to escape capture. Breivik's identity shocked Norway, leading to a deep examination of why he committed such a terrible act. As investigators studied his actions and beliefs, they uncovered a troubling picture of a man driven by extreme ideas and a wish to cause fear and disorder. This investigation revealed the harsh truth about Breivik's intentions, showing how his troubled childhood played a role in shaping his deeds, leaving a lasting mark on Norway. Early life: Anders Behring Breivik was born on February 15, 1979, to Wenche Behring and Jens David Breivik. His parents couldn't agree on whose surname he should take, so they decided he would carry both, becoming Anders Behring Breivik. However, family stability was elusive from the start. When Anders was just a year old, his father, Jens, wanted to relocate the family to London for work at the Norwegian embassy. Wenche, however, refused, citing concerns about their marriage and uprooting from Norway. Ultimately, Wenche moved back to Oslo, with Anders and his half-sister Elizabeth settling in a small apartment after her divorce from Jens. Despite Jens's efforts to gain custody of Anders, Wenche prevailed in court, a decision that would have profound consequences for Anders's upbringing. As Anders grew, cracks began to show in his relationship with his mother. At the tender age of 3, he was placed under supervised care on weekends due to his mother's claims that he was difficult and antisocial. This led to psychological evaluations that noted Anders's unusual smile, devoid of warmth or emotion, a troubling sign for someone so young. Further revelations emerged about Wenche's treatment of Anders. She harbored intense resentment towards him even before his birth, claiming he kicked in her womb deliberately. She openly expressed hatred towards him, telling doctors he was a demon child and wishing he had never been born. Her hostility extended to withholding affection and ceasing breastfeeding, attributing it to Anders sucking the life out of her, a devastating rejection for any child. Wenche's behavior was later diagnosed as borderline personality disorder, affecting her emotional stability and exacerbating her mistreatment of Anders. Despite occasional bouts of extreme affection, her damaging actions left an indelible mark on Anders's young psyche, shaping his troubled path ahead. She would sometimes turn to extreme affection, and this affection is not the type that should ever be shown between mother and son. It's unclear how, but psychologists believe that in these moments, Venture projected her own sexual fantasies and fear of men onto her son, deeming the situation understandably unacceptable for a 4-year-old boy. During his teenage years, Anders rebelled against authority, engaging in graffiti and clashing with law enforcement on multiple occasions. Despite a strained relationship with his father, who had relocated to Paris, Anders sought solace by spending time with him. However, this relationship too deteriorated over time, leaving Anders grappling with feelings of rejection and inadequacy. His pursuit of physical strength through weight training was an attempt to find validation and purpose, but his aspirations were thwarted when he was deemed unfit for military service, further compounding his frustrations. Adulthood. As an adult, Anders held various jobs and ventured into legitimate business activities, including diamond trading. Financial setbacks and a growing sense of entitlement led him down darker paths. Establishing a firm under his own name, he delved into illegal activities such as forging diplomas for profit. This provided both means and cover for his increasingly radical plans. In the lead-up to the Oslo attacks of July 2011, Anders's rental of a secluded farmhouse, coupled with his background in farming, facilitated his sinister preparations. His choice of a fertilizer-based explosive for the car bomb revealed a calculated intent, using his agricultural knowledge to conceal his malevolent intentions. Amid meticulous planning, Anders's descent into extremism and violence stemmed from personal grievances, ideological zeal, and a warped sense of righteousness. As the horrifying events unfolded, chaos and fear gripped Utoya. Breivik's deceitful approach, posing as law enforcement, initially deceived camp leaders and opened the door to unimaginable violence. With a concealed firearm and a briefcase likely filled with more weaponry, he began shooting indiscriminately, turning mostly teenagers attending a Labour Party summer camp. Following his arrest, Breivik displayed an unexpected demeanor. Despite his chilling declaration to police, "You will die today, Marxists, liberals, and members of the elite," he surprisingly cooperated with authorities, openly sharing his methods and motives. His demeanor suggested a disturbing pride in his actions, further unsettling a nation already grappling with incomprehensible loss. As Norway mourned, rescue efforts mobilized swiftly. Local residents, fishermen, and tourists joined forces to aid in the recovery of survivors, pulling teenagers from the frigid waters and dense forests where they sought refuge. The island was meticulously searched in the ensuing days, with divers deployed to recover any victims who may have drowned. The final toll revealed 69 lives lost and 110 injured on Utoya, combined with the casualties from the Oslo bombing, marking Breivik's rampage as the deadliest attack in Norway since World War II. The pervasive impact of the tragedy touched approximately 1 in 4 Norwegians, either directly or indirectly. Breivik's motives and ideology became chillingly clear in the days following the attacks. Just 90 minutes before the explosion, he had disseminated a sprawling 1,518-page manifesto to over 1,000 email addresses, many belonging to government officials. In this manifesto, he railed against political correctness, multiculturalism, feminism, and advocated for the reinstatement of the patriarchy and expulsion of foreigners from Europe. His writings betrayed a deep-seated hatred and a delusional belief in his role as a savior of the Nordic race, despite perpetrating the deadliest assault on his own people in modern Norwegian history. The investigation laid bare the harrowing reality of Breivik's intentions, showing how his troubled childhood played a role in shaping his deeds, leaving a lasting mark on Norway. Subsequent investigations and Breivik's own admissions painted a portrait of a calculating and remorseless extremist. Authorities uncovered evidence linking him to the bomb's components, affirming his role as the sole perpetrator. Charged with 8 counts of bombing, 210 counts of attempted bombing, 32 counts of attempted murder, and 69 counts of murder, Breivik underwent psychiatric evaluation amidst debates over his mental state. Initially diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, subsequent assessments labeled him with antisocial and narcissistic personality disorders, affirming his culpability and understanding of his actions. In April 2012, Breivik faced trial, where he unabashedly continued to espouse his extremist views, displaying a Nazi salute and decrying perceived threats to white nations. Despite overwhelming evidence and witness testimonies, his sentencing provoked outrage. Norway's maximum penalty of 21 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after 10 years, struck many as inadequate for the gravity of his crimes. However, provisions for indefinite detention offer a measure of reassurance against his potential release. Currently housed in Skien prison under stringent conditions, including solitary confinement and limited contact with the outside world, Breivik's bid for parole in 2022 was rightfully denied due to ongoing concerns about his mental stability. His continued isolation serves as a reminder of the enduring scars left by his actions on Norway's national conscience. Memorials across Norway, including a poignant tribute on Utøya Island, stand as testament to the lives lost and the resilience of a nation united against hate. The international condemnation of Breivik's atrocities underscores the global impact of extremism and the imperative of vigilance in safeguarding against such senseless violence. Anders Behring Breivik's legacy remains a somber chapter in Norway's history, a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of radicalization and the enduring need for solidarity and compassion in the face of tragedy. How can we ensure that the memories of those lost continue to inspire unity and resilience against extremism? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you have made it this far, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as we're creating 3 amazing crime videos for you every week. Until next time, thanks for watching.